Does picking an outfit have you running a little too fashionably late? We get it. Great taste takes time. That's why Drizzly, the #1 app for alcohol delivery, has your back with the largest selection of beer, wine, and spirits, delivered in under 60 minutes. Convenience never goes out of style. So if you need to spend some extra time in the mirror instead of at the store, download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com today.
Without a healthy mind, being truly happy and at peace is hard. The good news is therapy works. But what is therapy exactly? It's whatever you want it to be. Maybe you're not feeling motivated right now and would like some tools to help. Or maybe you're feeling insecure in relationships or at work, not dealing well with stress. Whatever you need, it's time to stop being ashamed of normal human struggles and start feeling better because you deserve to be happy. And now you don't have to worry about finding an in-person therapist near you to help. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what online therapy is really about. It's always a good time to invest in yourself because you are your greatest asset. And a special offer to ImmaLetYouFinish listeners, you can get 10% off your first month of professional therapy at betterhelp.com/ImmaLetYou, ImmaLetYou. That's betterhelp.com/ImmaLetYou, ImmaLetYou. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this podcast. It's Amy Linden, and I finally got my own show. Oh, wait. Hey, Courtney. How you doing? It's ImmaLetYouFinish, show 113. Courtney is currently recuperating from having every vaccine known to mankind, but still get your vaccines. Don't listen to that. Just Courtney is, it's all sort of kicking in at once, but he's doing good. He's doing okay. He's eating candy, and we're back. And we have a new show. But yes.
On the Pantheon Podcast Network.
On the Pantheon Podcast Network.
The #1 music network for podcasts
Courtney,
in the world. And Amy's screen is frozen. This is like the 9th time we tried to start this show today. It's like the universe is not trying to let us be great, but we're going to push through. Ames.
Your image has just frozen on the screen.
And yours was frozen on the screen.
I got very scared that you passed out. I was like, oh shit, I know how to do CPR, but not Brooklyn to Harlem. That would be really hard. All right, well, you're frozen, and it's interesting because
am I still frozen?
You're still frozen,
okay.
Like Elsa.
Okay. You're frozen.
Yeah, like whatever.
Your heart's not open.
Well, you're like definitely frozen. Well, maybe you'll unfreeze soon, but you're freaking me out right now. I just want to say that. All right. Well, you're gay. Talk about Billy Eichner.
So, can I just say?
No, you cannot. I'm taking over this goddamn show.
I'm not really a Billy Eichner fan. And I have several different, like we all have group chats on our phone.
You're alive again. You're alive. You're moving.
I'm live and moving. I have several gay chats. None of my gays, none of us are Billy Eichner fans, so none of us went to see it. And so he's upset that people didn't go see the movie, and he's really saying it's homophobia that caused people not to go see his movie, and kind of a full meltdown. And I'm like, well, it seems like you didn't even get all the gays out to see the movie. So, I mean, maybe people just, I don't know. I love him. I find him a little annoying. So to me, and I'll go see, me and my friends, we go see all the gay movies. But none of us wanted to sit through an hour and 45 minutes of him. I don't think it had anything to do with anything else.
Well, I think I happen to like Billy on the Street. I think Billy on the Street is hilarious, and that is a character in his, that is not who he is, because I've seen him on talk shows. And I've seen him. He had his own sitcom for a while with another woman whose name I can't remember. But
okay, now I will say that show where they were the really bad people.
Yeah.
Was hilarious.
That was hilarious, right?
But that was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
yes. They were so inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
What was the name of that show? It was like Bad People.
Really Bad People. Yeah, I think it was called Really Bad People.
That actually made me laugh a lot.
That show was like if you and I were actors and trying to get roles. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think there is some confusion because he is one of these people who sort of shows up on talk shows and does things, and he's very kind of soft-spoken and thoughtful. And then he's got Billy on the Street, where he's a lunatic running around screaming at people, which is no longer. Look, I understand. It is being marketed. It was marketed as like the first gay rom-com by a major studio. What he's saying, and it did get really good reviews, so it's not like the movie sucked. But what he's saying is that the studio tried to make it sound like it was this major cultural political event instead of just saying it's a really good movie that happens to have two guys making out with each other. So I understand that point of like, sometimes you can go overboard in wanting to appear to be an ally, and like, why would you want to sabotage your own movie? And also, people are still not going to movies.
I mean, they are, but people are going to
action movies. Movies.
Well, it all depends, right? But I also feel like, okay, you didn't get the first weekend numbers you want, but it's not dead.
No, it's not dead.
You want to have this movie, maybe try to have legs. Try to really explain to people what the movie is. You know what I mean? Now that we've gotten past everybody, it's like how we feel about anniversaries. Everything has to have the angle, all right? You tried that didn't work, but it still has theaters. So I think if you start yelling that at people, then they're really just not going to go see your movie.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think there is a point to be made, certainly, about homophobia. I mean, certainly. But
it's not the first gay film, you know what I mean? And it's not the first gay rom-com. And gay
by
movies
a major
have been
studio.
A hit.
By a major studio. It definitely is. So we'll see. We'll see. But I do like the Billy Eichner character. But yeah, that show he did with that woman that was me. That woman was me.
That was the only time I could stand to watch him.
Oh God, what was her name?
Isadora?
No, Julie something. She's hilarious. And in fact, people said to me, "Oh my God, you remind me of her. You're funnier than her." I said, "Yeah, but she got a TV show." All right. Okay, so Dave Chappelle used to have this skit where they would have the race draft, and they would take certain black people and can we trade them for someone in certain All right, I am a white woman.
Are you?
A New York. Yes, I am.
Wow.
And I would like to officially announce that white women across America, we want to trade Lena Dunham for anyone. First round draft pick, second round draft pick, an armadillo.
Is there anybody
an armadillo.
You know what? As much as I can't stand somebody that we're going to talk about later on this show, I think she's worse than him. Because
it's a draw. I don't know if I want to have a worse off.
There's something about her that gets under my skin so horribly. Well, like the shit she pulled with Odell Beckham and made this whole thing.
Well, let's explain.
I hated Girls. I hated that show.
I didn't. Okay, I have to stop you there. I did not hate Girls. It wasn't for me. It wasn't targeted for me. I have to admire any person, especially a woman. I know she's connected, but she did write, she directed. There were things about it I didn't like. There were things I did. It gave us Adam Driver, for which I will be forever grateful. I like her movies. And the irony of all this is that she's getting fantastic press for the new movie that she directed. And she's just basically what Lena Dunham does is she says stupid shit that she thinks makes her look like an ally, and it bites. And then she spends all this time apologizing. So this time she has a trans sister. I don't know. She has a sister who is non-binary. Let's put okay. I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be flip, but I can't. I don't remember. And she made some statement like, next gay pride parade, I want to be driven through, and it's in a hearse or in a truck or a cab. And it's like, this is so not about
Well, something like when
you.
she dies or something.
When she dies.
Right.
When she dies, she wants to be driven through the gay pride parade in a casket. And it's like, oh my God, the idea of being an ally is not to make it about you. It's about it's like
She makes everything about her.
everything about her. And that's
She's
what's
like
ridiculous.
Oprah. They're
Yeah.
unique in their way that every story can find its way back. Even when you're trying to say you're doing something for someone else,
Right.
the story always seems to come about you in
And
the
she's
story for someone
talented.
else.
That's the thing. If she would like shut up and let I just think she can't help it. I think but it just gets cringy because she's constantly doing the white savior kind of thing. Like
Ugh.
gay rights only exist because she's co-signed on it. Black people only exist because she's co-signed on. But she gave us Adam Driver. And for that, I am grateful because I find Adam Driver to be kind of hot in a creepy way.
No, there's something interesting about him.
Yeah, I like him. I find him, I'm not the only person. I think because he's got the man vibe. He's got the man vibe. You know what I mean?
And he's tall.
He's tall. Well, that's part of the man vibe. Sorry, I hate to
Mm.
say it, but I mean, he's got the man. That's why Method Man is so. He's got the man vibe.
No, Method Man's just hot. Everybody loves him
So
because he's hot.
fucking hot.
And he's aged really
Very
well into his
well.
manness.
No,
really, really good.
So I'm sorry, MATHOD man.
He looks like he eats good and drinks a lot of water.
Oh yeah, he's really hot.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
I have a couple of female friends who are still like, he's that one. He's
No,
that
he's that
one.
one. He
that
is
they
that
would
one.
step out on the marriage for it and be like,
he
oh
is-
no,
and
no,
I've
no.
seen, yeah, no, he's very.
They're like, I
he
love
is-
him.
No, I love him too. He's very, very good looking. I mean, all right, stop. All right, we're stopping with the. I can't take so much Method Man in the.
Stop right now.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, okay, I'm going to quote a woman who's a writer and a Facebook friend, and I hope she would be my friend in real life. Akiba Solomon.
Isadora?
Akiba Solomon, a writer.
Oh, okay.
Who's really brilliant and funny, and what she said about Kanye, I'm paraphrasing, is not only is his mind sick, but his shtick is getting tired. It's boring. So Kanye, went to Paris fashion show with Candace Owen.
Well, it was a Yeezy fashion show.
Oh, the Yeezy fashion show in Paris, wearing a shirt that say "White Lives Matter."
He made White Lives Matter shirts.
And it's like a little girl or a little kid who's putting their dress up over their head to get attention. The best way to deal with Kanye is to ignore him. It's like Trump. Don't give him any. Next time he says something stupid, which will be tomorrow, because last week we were talking about something stupid. He said,
I would like to say something as a Black person.
Yeah.
I would like to say something about him and this Kendall Cunningham, who in her review of Till, instead of being able to talk about Whoopi Goldberg's performance, was upset and couldn't get past the fat suit she was wearing, except Whoopi Goldberg wasn't wearing a fat suit. Last year when she had almost died after, having double pneumonia in her lungs and was on steroids, she had gained weight. So this Black woman writes for the Daily Beast. Her review of Till, that movie that's getting rave reviews and Oscar buzz, wasn't about Whoopi's performance when she gets to the Whoopi Goldberg part. It was just about how she looked and how she found it distracting. And then I went to said woman's page to see what she looked like. And of course, her tweets are private unless you're a approved follower. But just know her handle is whatever her name is / Jake Gyllenhaal's wife. So that lets you know everything about her.
She's married to Jake Gyllenhaal?
No, that's who she calls herself.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
So that lets you know everything about her. And people like Kanye. My issue with him about it, he thinks he's special. He's one of those Black guys who thinks racists won't hate me. Like, white people love me. Everybody loves me. And he's really mistaken. What I hate about this thing is there has been no form of protest that has ever been acceptable for people on the other side. When we marched in the SADC counters, we were dragged out and arrested. When we marched peacefully, we were attacked with dogs and fire hoses, right? When you walked across a bridge, we were shot. When we knelt on a football field, we were thugs, we didn't love America. We said Black Lives Matter, and now that's controversial. And so when I see a black man like him, and listen, I know you and I have gone back and forth because you're like, I don't have any Republican. I have black Republican friends. I have, who from all different spectrums. So it is not, I have no problem with him being a free thinker. I have no problem with him thinking differently. But I really have a problem now with him not understanding that there has never been a form of protest that has been acceptable for black people. It's always been attacked. And for him to join in on that makes him the most low form of human possible. Him and Candace Owens. It's like, I don't care what you guys stand for. I don't care. But the fact that you know that there's never been a form of protest that's been acceptable, and you guys think that you're in some exclusive club, like white people don't like you. Those white people who hate black people don't like you.
Well, white people
don't care.
They don't. I mean, the thing it's so. Look, I mean, it's what's sort of ironic is remember when Kanye first caught our attention is when he said George Bush doesn't care about white people.
About black people.
And we were all like mesmerized by that.
Because that moment
we were mesmerized by
it. It summed up so much. And then
we were mesmerized.
Right.
He was the man. He was the perfect man. Look, I mean, and I hope you know, I am not trying to in any way diminish. Candace Owens is a clown. Okay, Candace Owens stands for nothing but Candace Owens, and she's just a clown. Kanye, this is their version of owning the libs. Okay, they know. I don't even know what Kanye believes in, but this is Marjorie Taylor Greene with better sneakers. These are just people saying what they're saying so that they can get airtime. Last week he was bragging that he has never read a book. 2 weeks ago he's going to keep doing it because he sells. He's good clickbait, and I am not discounting, but it's just like, really, Kanye, it's like really like you're going into the oldest, like you haven't come up with any new material in 4 years.
No, none.
So she's just a sideshow. She's a clown. She has no credibility. She wasn't even invited to speak at CPAC, which is like her little, they were like, you're too stupid for us even, and they're stupid. I just find him to be like, oh yeah, he said so. Oh, all right, today's Tuesday. He said something stupid.
Right.
And I just feel like the best way to deal with him, and I know it's impossible because we live in a media culture, ignore him and he'll be talking to himself, which I'm sure he does anyway. But all right, I just got a police alert from one of my schools that there were shots fired and they had to shut the school down. Yay!
Thank you, Eric Adams. Thank you. Your idea. I would like to thank Eric Adams, who said, I'm going to get my first Call of Duty is this. The violence has got to stop. New York, y'all.
Well, a friend of mine wears a high school right there.
But you're a New Yorker like me. This is worse than the 80s. It's worse than the 70s. Bad. It feels like something I've never felt before in New York.
Oh my God, they keep calling me too. I have to tell them I've received this or they'll keep calling. No, it says all clear after shots fired. NYPD called shots fired at approximately 11:20. Anyway, everybody's okay, but I do have to call a friend of mine because he teaches at a high school in Metro Tech. So hopefully, yay. And it's raining out. Who the hell's outside in the rain shooting people?
I mean...
Come on, shooters, stay inside. I would not be at all surprised if it had something to do with the schools around there, but I'm not going to go out on a limb. All right, explain Taste the Biscuit to me, because I don't even know.
Taste the Biscuit.
It looks like remember that skit that Will Ferrell and...
It is like...
Isn't it that skit? That skit where they used to have the fake lounge sing?
It is completely like the school teachers who used to sing.
Right.
I'm obsessed with it, Amy. I can watch them. It's toasters and mousse.
I know.
That's it. And I'm obsessed.
Isn't it really old?
Yes, but now that they have a bunch of other songs, and now they become viral again. So they're taking in and making new versions. It's like... It is
okay.
It's the most nonsensical thing.
Here's what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna start sending you some of the papers I have to grade, so you don't have time to look for crazy old white people.
It's Taste the Biscuit, but she wants her honey sauce. Taste the biscuit. Oh, taste the biscuit.
Are you sure it's not Paula Dean singing that stuff?
Paula Dean, honey. It's
Yeah.
Paula Dean, honey.
You-
They ran her off.
They ran her ass out of town.
They ran Miss Paula
They
out.
ran her ass out of
They
town.
were like, "You're done.
You're
But
done,
she's
Paula.
and she's still doing her thing. I think she has her own shit. But I mean, she was
she's
the
done.
queen.
Queen, done. Sorry. I don't know why I thought of Paula Dean when I watched that. I went, Paula Dean. Yeah, that we'll have a trivia quiz one day on the show to prove how old our listeners are. We'll just throw out random names and know who they're talking about. Paula Dean. Oh yeah.
That was like, back in the 70s and 80s when they would have like variety shows and it was still like Merv Griffin and like Susan Anton would always be on. But I never knew what Susan Anton did. And they would always like, she
was an actress?
I don't know, but she would always like be singing, not that great on those shows, but it was like, what did she do?
Wait a minute, was she the one that was married to Gene Simmons or somebody looks exactly like her?
That's Shannon Tweed. And Shannon, I believe, is still married to Gene Simmons.
Bless her heart. Because if you watch that show, you'd be like, what the fuck? Yeah, Susan Anton. There were a lot of these people.
A lot of those people. It was like
Johnny Carson and Merv, and they'd come out, Mike Douglas, and they go, who are you? What do you do?
But they always had to act. But I would be really excited when it would be like Lola Falana, because Lola would get out there and do her thing, and she was always so sexy to me.
Yeah. But I just never understood the whole nine. All right, on a way more serious note, there is a new Sinead O'Connor documentary, and we've discussed she had a memoir out, I think about 1.5 years ago or 2 years ago.
So good.
Which she promoted on The View, which today reigns as one of the great cultural cognitive dissonance moments of all time. Right up there with Yoko Ono and John Lennon on the Mike Douglas show and Iggy Pop on the Dinah Shore show. I mean, it was just one of those, one of these things is not like the other, but it's fine. It's fine watching Joy Behar have to read cue cards to talk to Sinead O'Connor. But anyway,
so that's always my favorite when the person's
have
on
no
it,
idea who the person.
They were like, in 1987, you released your first album.
And the producer's in their ear going, 87. Frank Sinatra. She ripped the picture of Frank Sinatra. Oh, okay. I love it. It's just so great. So anyway, I mean, it's getting very good reviews, and again, I mean,
and our friend Bill Coleman is speaks in it.
Right.
It's all told through. You don't see people. It's all told through voiceover.
It's like
and
the Amy doc. Like the Amy doc.
And it's really, really good. And I really listen. I'm glad that people are starting to swing back around and realize the things that she was talking about. Mm-hmm. And what people don't realize is the same thing happened in Ireland. When she ripped up that picture of the Pope, they were mad here in America. They were really mad in Ireland as well. Oh, yeah. It was a big deal. But what she was talking about was so prolific and so true. And then when all of these things happened later, everybody just was like, oh my God. So this doc really re-examines that period because it's not her full life. It examines a very specific
where
period.
She was well, I mean, hello, Catholic Church having to shut churches because you had to pay out so much money to the victims.
And you still think about shoving priests, taking them from one region and putting them somewhere else and just moving these people around. It's really,
She definitely, I mean, she has been very open about her mental illness. So you get to once again paint her with that brush if you don't want to listen to her. She's a woman, so you don't have to listen to her. But also what's really... and I watched a clip, when she made her first Grammy appearance, she came out there with the Public Enemy logo on the side of her head, shaved into her head or dyed into her head. She aligned herself with hip hop artists back when the Grammy would not present them, when they handed out the rap Grammy in a parking lot at the Wendy's somewhere.
Right.
And so she was aligning herself with artists and music industry and people slighted by the music industry. And she really is a warrior. I mean, she was she suffered career-wise.
She's a punk to me who didn't make punk music, but she had that.
She definitely had that mentality.
Yeah,
and shame
and still does.
Shame on all the male artists who would not support her. And kudos to Chris Christopherson, at that show where
at the Bob Dylan tribute concert.
Right, Chris Christopher. So shame on all these men, because I can guarantee you, if Bono had said the same thing, the reaction wouldn't have been. By the way, isn't Bono have a book coming out?
He does.
Okay, that's
40. I believe 40 songs. One
for those
musician,
of you who have problems sleeping, buy a ticket to that. Jesus Christ!
But can I just say,
just when you thought he couldn't get more pretentious, Jesus
I mean, but to be a big hit seller, can I just say that back to fuck Kanye, fuck you. I just wanted to say that. And for Sinead O'Connor, I really wish people would dig into her catalog past the first two records. You know what I mean? Because I loved her covers out. She has a couple of covers out.
Covers album, so good.
Her 1992 album, which is her third album, Am I Not Your Girl, is a covers album. And I love that. She sings a cover of Loretta Lynn's, what's the name? What is it? Love Has Made a Failure of Our Home.
Oh, I know what you mean.
What's the name?
We should know that too, because she just passed today too.
Yes,
Loretta Lynn.
It's the legendary Loretta Lynn. Wait, what is the name of the blacklisting? Success Has Made a Failure of Our Home. No, listen. And her Throw Your Arms Down album, her Roots and Reggae cover album produced by Sly and Robbie, Gospel Oak, that EP. There's so much amazing, amazing music. So I hope that she deserves a redemption arc, because she was really vilified for telling the truth, and she's continued to make
not looking fuckable enough. Let's be honest. I mean, this is all
she's beautiful. Let me just tell you something. Have you ever seen her in concert?
No, I have not, and I regret.
So Bill is friends with her.
Yeah,
and he's done remixes of it since the first album. Worked with her. He took me to. She came and performed at the Highline Ballroom. And she was almost going to cancel because she said she was sick. And it was her first show in New York in a gazillion years. Let me just tell you something. Came out there sick, said, well, I'm just going to try. And sang the fucking house down, okay, for all of us that were in there. Vocally, just sang the house down.
Yeah.
The talent in that woman is just it. She writes amazing, beautiful songs. Black Boys on Mopeds, to me, is mind-blowingly spectacular, and it still sounds amazing.
Yeah. Say what you will about the Irish. They get good singers, man.
Yep.
Good poets and good singers.
Yep.
Bad boyfriends.
Well, we're all bad.
From personal,
honey, we're all bad boyfriends.
But hot, but bad.
We're all bad boyfriends.
The black Irish ones, not the Aaron Go, the redhead.
Name one. A man. Name a segment of men that's not a bad boyfriend.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there's a stage in everyone's career where they pull they put out hit record, and they're this, that, and all of a sudden you start seeing the American Songbook stage. So Rod Stewart was probably the first and the most successful when he started doing the Songbook, and then there's Seal did the American Songbook, and everybody starts doing the American Songbook because. And literally, it's like referred to as American Songbook. So it's everything from Cole Porter to any song written in America that stood the test of time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your friend and mine, Bruce Springsteen, has officially, and it's even in the press release, reached the American Songbook part of his career.
And that's the men, because the men do that. The women go, the women in their 40s, because the women in the 40s always go to the dance album. It's always that time. Like, if you want that hit, make people dance, and you come back, and it's like, oh my God, we're all dancing. And the men definitely go to...
Well, he's in the 70s.
Yeah, but they always get to that American Songbook
then. Yeah. And it's almost like it should be a genre. Like, and of course, Rod Stewart's American, and
Rod's done like 4 or 5 chapters of that,
and they sold more than his other stuff. It's also really good. Okay, to his credit, my my one true love, Brian Ferry, has been doing Songbook from while he was in Roxy Music, and it took him like 2 covers albums before he even did an album of solo material. Anyway, Bruce Springsteen is now putting out an album which is going to be all soul covers. To his credit, he's not going for the usual, some unusual choices, some Northern soul kind of class, but One Becomes of the Broken Hearted is one of them. Doesn't he do?
But he can still really sing, though. So I'm really interested to hear him singing these songs.
Well, and it's also in his. Well, Rod Stewart, I mean, he grew up. This is not. Yeah. He grew up with this music. I mean, this is not like some guy coming from Mars. I mean, Bruce Springsteen is 70 years old. The bar bands, always played like Motown and Stax covers and stuff. But it's just really, and the video is like all multi-culty and stuff like that. So, and there's some interesting people on this record. It's going to be. He's touring with the E Street Band in a few months because ain't nobody going to be paying $300 to see Bruce Springsteen up there doing Sam and Dave covers. Sorry. He might, and he's always done covers. I mean, he's always done covers in his.
And those fans would, because they would pay anything. As long as he's on the stage with a guitar, they'll pay whatever.
Well, that's assuming he's going to have a guitar. In the video, he is singing. He is and aging well. Looking more and more like Robert De Niro every day.
Looking like luxury. Looking like wealth.
A lot of money.
No, he gives you wealth. Like, I've not been broke since 1987. You know what I'm saying? Right.
78. You always give him like, I
know. I don't know why in my head. I know.
Right? Maybe you're not old enough to remember when he was on the cover of Time and Newsweek the same goddamn week.
I don't remember that.
I mean, as soon as Born to Run came out, he didn't have to eat ramen noodles anymore. Okay. But anyway, so he has reached, we are now at the Springsteen American Songbook standard. It'll be fine. It'll be great. It's Bruce Springsteen. He's, you know what? If someone gave me the ticket to go see him, I've seen him before.
Great live.
He's great live. I mean, I would see him really, again. Really I haven't seen him in a gazillion years.
He's a really nice guy. I met him when I worked at Columbia.
I've heard he's super nice. I got no problem with him. Go forth and go on. All right. So this is a really important story that only Courtney and I care about. I saw the story online. I went, oh, we got to post this. This is like groundbreaking, earth-breaking stuff. Okay. How do you pronounce it? Lidl? How do you pronounce it? The store. Lidl. Okay. So Lidl, which is like, sort of like.
Aldi. That's the same company. It's the same company.
Originally I had heard
they're brothers.
Trader Joe's.
Right. But no, but they're brothers, and it was like some fight.
Yeah.
And they split the company.
Adidas and Puma. Yeah. Right. All right. So they have put out, listen. So when you go to their store,
I can't believe that this was a thing.
This was a thing. So when you go to their store, they have items. They have like it's like their house brand. Okay. Now I bought a chocolate bar there last week after I went to the dentist because that's how I roll. I like getting dental work and then buying candy. And looking at the cover of it, I'm like, wow, this looks just like the font that Trader Joe's uses for its chocolate. It's very similar, but it's not. Well, they were making chocolate bunnies, and as they are wont to do, and Lind, the Swiss time-honored, classic Swiss chocolate, went whole time. They look and taste and sound just like our chocolate bunnies, and they went to court and.
And had the nerve to win. And had the nerve to win.
Now there's like a cease and desist and stop production
over chocolate bunnies.
A chocolate bunny. And it's not even Easter time. So wouldn't this only apply for Easter?
It's like full on. First of all, I'm seeing Christmas commercials. I'm like, so we're skipping Halloween
we're just
and
skipping.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, Halloween. They start advertising Halloween in August. Where are you been? I eagerly await the Christmas lights going up on Fulton Street in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is important news. I know we're not a news show, but this is something I hope that our listeners understand that's why you come to us. The Great Chocolate Bunny controversy and the battle of Lidl and Lindt and Germans and Swiss. And it's like World War II all over again. And Lindt has won, and I can sleep better tonight, Courtney. I don't know about you. I'm going to sleep.
I know Mariah called me the other night and she said, I'm so concerned because the bunnies.
Save the bunnies.
And I said, girl.
I know.
Girl.
When you eat a chocolate bunny, let me just ask you, assuming it's a hollow bunny, not a solid bunny, are you a bite the head off person first?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're on.
I go in for the kill.
Yeah, so bite the head off. Bite the head off, and then work your way.
You have to bite the head off, so then you can pour
work your way around.
No,
you never go leg up.
You can pour some Baileys into it.
All right. Well, that's not my issue. But you don't go leg up. You go head down.
Head down.
Okay. Head down.
I like to give head first.
I opened myself up for that. All right, now we have to serious up right now.
Okay.
We have to. All right, no more bunnies. All right. So, Coolio, come on. Are you laughing?
I
know it was a horrible segue.
We should have had one more segment to ease into. You're like, this is so sad. So Coolio died unexpectedly in the bathroom at his friend's house, which is really 59 years old.
I know, but I think people forget how huge he was.
I mean, he was a moment, and
a major moment.
He was for slice in time. He was like biggest artist going
in the world.
Yeah,
I have my Tommy Boy, which was his label, which hands down put out the best promotional merch ever. I wish I'd save it. I'll have to send it to you, but I have Coolio's old school street games. Number 1, paper ball, get a piece of paper, ball the motherfucker up, play with it. That's what they sent out for him. So Fantastic Voyage, which I actually like more than
that was the first single. That was the big one that broke him.
Yeah.
And that's still a really good song.
It's a great song. It's slide. I know.
Yeah.
And he was great, and he had a great persona. He had a great look. And then, of course, Gangster's Paradise, which was a huge, huge hit and better than the movie, like 100 times better than that stupid movie. When I decided to become a teacher, my friend said, "Are you going to be Michelle Pfeiffer in that movie and sit on a chair the wrong way?" But he was great, and I interviewed him once a million years ago, and he couldn't have been nicer. And signed an autograph for my son. He used to be a firefighter. And I think went back to it at some point. But I think he's one of those guys that, because it wasn't consistent and because he was just so big, and I think people forgot how important he was. And when you saw the tributes from other rappers, you had people that you would not expect would chime in on him, like Chuck D, like Ice Cube, and also he, unlike other artists, he was okay with Weird Al's parody, Amish Paradise, which is like the best one he's ever done. So rest in peace to Coolio. I mean, really, again, just you forget. And that hair, he was like so cool. And then, of course, today's Tuesday, but this morning, the word legend is overused, but geez Louise, Loretta Lynn, come on.
Icon is overused. People need to look up what that actually means. Loretta Lynn was the queen of country. Undisputed. You know what I mean? The queen of, I think even Dolly Parton, who we think of as a legendary queen, would say Loretta Lynn was the queen of country.
And a songwriter. Genius
an amazing song. She had songs about the pill. Remember, I'm tired of raising babies. Now the loving can feel good. Now that I got the pill. You know what I'm saying? You ain't woman enough to take my man. Coal miner's daughter. Just amazing songs. An amazing lady. Then she came back. Remember, won those Grammys with
Jack White,
with Van Leer Rose. That album, just an amazing woman. I told you, I grew up on country music. So I've known about Loretta Lynn since I could talk and walk, listening to Loretta Lynn music.
And I think Coal Miner's Daughter, I hope, is probably one of the best biopics ever made.
So good. Sissy Spacek won the Oscar playing her.
Right. And Levon Helm is brilliant as her father. Tommy Lee Jones as her husband.
And Beverly D'Angelo was amazing as Patsy Cline. And they both sang.
Right.
Their parts. They did not lip sync, and they both
And then
sounded
played
great.
Patsy Cline in Sweet Dreams, and then came back and played her
No,
again.
no. Sweet Dreams, Jessica Lange played
Oh,
Patsy.
okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. But no, yeah, Loretta Lynn is just like when you think about country music, I think you think about George Jones, Tammy Wynette, and Loretta Lynn in terms of just an endless influence, an influence on all these like young Americana artists because she was just within the confines of the Nashville machine, which is very much a machine. She just was her own woman. She just stood out and was gritty and real and never tried to smooth her edges. Fabulous hair, fabulous gowns.
Always in gowns. Always in her
in
gowns.
gowns. Yeah. I feel like I saw her perform, but it might have been a hallucination. And I've never done hallucinogenics, but I feel like I may have seen her. Or maybe I just wanted to see her. That's it. I feel like I saw her at some festival. I swear to God. I don't know.
And you probably did. You know what? I've seen so many people, I can't remember. There's some I think I've seen, and I can't remember that I've seen.
I can remember the ones I know I didn't see and get pissed off about it.
Right.
But like I didn't see Harry Styles because I had a concussion. But that's a whole nother story. All right. What are you listening to?
I am listening to the new Craig David album, 22.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on. You can't just spring that on me. I know he went down to Miami and sort of reinvented himself.
So he's been living in Miami since those early records. He's been in
I'm saying way back, but he's so like, what's it
like? Yeah, Craig David's, it's really good. It's called 22. Okay. It came out last week. It's great. It's a great Craig David record. You know, he's got dance beats on there. He's got his R&B beats on there. He's got his signature Craig David ballads on there. It's a really good album called 22.
I love him. I remember
I didn't know that, but yeah, it's really, I'm enjoying it, but I enjoy him a lot, you know?
I enjoy him a lot. I remember the first time I went to London and they're like billboards for him everywhere. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Because he was completely unknown in the never really broke in the United States in the same way, but always been somebody who gets a tremendous amount of respect. They tried to break him in the United States and it just didn't. Though they used to play.
Well, he did. 7
Days was on BET. I remember that.
Yeah. And I'm listening to this new EP by Zazie called Le EP. And I love Zazie. She's a French singer who's been around for many years. And a new jazz record, the new album by Samara Joy that is really, really good called Linger a While. They've been spending all weekend. That and for some reason.
Here we go. I was waiting for you to say that. It's not you. I mean, it doesn't count unless you say that ahead of time.
For some reason, I've been digging back into the Tori Amos.
Yeah, that'll never happen over here, trust me.
And this weekend, I've been listening to a lot of... I love Tori Amos.
I think that you're possibly more of a neurotic, tortured woman than I am.
Well, you know what brought me back to her? Bjork's new album came out. Okay, I'm listening to it, and I'm just kind of like, I do love Bjork.
This to yourself?
But it's like, I don't understand these albums. I just don't. The songs are like blip, blip,
no,
blip, blip,
Courtney,
blip.
listen.
I'm like, what's happening?
Courtney,
what's happening?
We're not old, but we're closer to death than we are to not. We've crossed we're fully into middle age. And at this part of our lives, should we have to work this hard? You know what I'm fucking saying? Should we have to work this goddamn hard?
I mean,
which is why the two things I want to talk about are things that came out 1,000,000 years ago and I don't have to listen to it. So yesterday or the day before or whatever, and I know nobody sent me a card, was the 45th anniversary of LAMF by Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers, which stands for Like a Motherfucker. Everybody, this was like, this huge breakthrough record for them. It's just, it was famously released in 1977 and it was terrible, terrible sound quality. And then they remastered it several years later. And you can get into arguments of people like, which was better, the remaster or they're just great. Born to Lose, One Track Mind, Chinese Rocks. It is if you want to find out what sloppy, but yet brilliant, junky New York City rock and roll is, this is the record. And just a great messy record. And shameless plug, the Dead Kennedys, who are friends of mine, who I used to be roommates with Klaus Flauride 1,000,000 years ago, and I was their tour manager. I put tour is a real word, manager in huge quotations. They have just reissued and remastered their absolutely classic debut, Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables.
Mhm.
And I wrote the liner notes.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. I actually saw they were reissuing and I went, hey guys, don't you think I should write the liner notes? I was there. And they went, oh yeah, duh, that's obvious. So it's got Let's Lynch the Landlord and California Ubialis and Kill the Poor. And it just sounds really great. I mean, it's one of those records that I sort of took for granted because I heard it so many times. And it's one of those records that just kind of had such a huge influence. It has quotes from, the guys from Guns N' Roses and hardcore bands and Dave Grohl, who came out of the DC hardcore scene, Billy Joe Armstrong. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to the past because I don't want to have to think too hard when I listen to music like Courtney. Courtney likes to think.
But that's why you should get into Tori Amos.
Oh, I can't. I don't know what I don't know why I don't like her.
Really talented.
I know. I just don't. There's something. I just found her. I didn't like the sideways piano playing thing. Isn't that stupid?
Oh, I love it.
I know.
I was at her MTV Unplugged. I was the third row in the aisle, right there. She was double straddling and giving me.
There's just some people. I just never got a good first impression.
She's a show woman. I love it.
Yeah, it's been hard for me, like Indigo Girls, to be.
Oh,
dreary.
You know what else I pulled out this weekend? PJ Harvey.
Oh my God! I was just going to say I don't get her either.
I pulled out Dry this weekend. It was listening.
Something happened to me. I don't know. I think I got so far deep in the black pop matrix that I started being self-hating. I have to go back and listen to these white women.
And because Mel C's been doing a lot of press on her book, her autobiography, I pulled out her Beautiful Intentions album again and listened to that. That was really, really good.
Yeah, I like Mel C, but there's something lacking in me that I just can't appreciate. Those whites, some whites, but I don't know, the girl whites. I'm going to work on it.
You do have to get better with your girl whites.
I like some girl whites. I mean, I like a lot of girl whites.
You like Robin.
I like Robin. She's whiter than white. She's Swedish, for Christ's sake. I like Nan. Oh no, Nana's not white, obviously. Right. There's a lot of girl whites I like. I'm seeing my therapist tomorrow. Maybe we'll bring this up instead of everything else. And say, why do I have a problem with Tori Amos and PJ Harvey? Oh, I know why. Because everybody was like, oh my God. And I was like, as soon as somebody says this is groundbreaking, my ears shut down.
You like Fiona Apple?
Yeah, I don't want to hear this. Leave me alone.
You like Fiona Apple?
Oh, I love Fiona Apple.
Okay, good. All right. I was about to say.
Yeah, that.
Well, listen, I can't tell, Miss Thing. It's like you don't like. There are people I'm always gonna think, oh, she's gonna love that. You're like, I hate that.
Who? Like who? Well, I thought you would.
Leon Bridges.
I just don't like the way I don't like the look. I don't know what it is. But I thought you would love Stromae, and it took you a minute.
It took a minute for me to get into what
it took a minute. I was surprised. No, Leon Bridges is just because I saw some interview and he's like, I play with these amps. They're from 1942. And it's like, oh my God, and you drink old tea and everything's analog. Got it, whatever. I have no problem with him, honestly. Though I will say, okay, you're gonna hate me for this. I don't care. And then we'll say goodbye. When I saw the promo for Till, which is the Emmett Till story, which looks great. I was so grateful that Audra Day wasn't singing that goddamn Rise song.
No, let me just tell you something.
I was like,
please don't sing that. Please.
I'll pay you not to sing that song.
I will pay. That song has been everything. Michelle Obama's anthem, the anthem for cancer, the anthem for sick
Olympics.
Dogs,
I was
kids,
like, oh my God.
when there's a disaster.
Really? Can there be a black movie involving a black woman that doesn't have this
dismantling of the roller coaster at Six Flags?
No.
The time the lady was across the street.
The elevator music. No.
It's like, I cannot.
I can't. All right. I'm
with
so
that
glad.
Song.
That song
I
cannot.
It's like, remember, like, I used to really like Sarah McLachlan, but now every time I see her, I think about sick animals shivering outside with snow and having one eye.
I know. You have to listen to Building a Mystery to get out of the puppy zone. All right, take us out.
Thank you guys very much for listening to I'mma Let You Finish. You can catch us every Thursday on the Pantheon Podcast
Is this your
Network.
tribute to Loretta Lynn?
Yes. It was my.
I just want to make sure.
It was my tribute to Loretta.
It was great. No, it's great. It's great. Carry on.
The Pantheon Podcast Network, where there are over 75 amazing music shows, including us. So you can go and get some education by people who will know facts, and then come to the fuckery. I'm gonna let you finish.
By people who have too many vaccines and someone who has, shouldn't have woke up this morning.
So yeah, and remember, tell a friend, tell a cousin. Thank you. Follow us on Facebook at ImmaLetYouFinish, all one word, or on Instagram at ImmaLetYouFinish, or on Twitter at FinishImma, or on the TikTok at ImmaLetYouFinish podcast, or on Twitch. Well, we never on there that much.
Yeah,
so
don't
fuck
do
that
that.
One. So
don't confuse people. Or just follow us. If you see us, just follow us.
Follow us.
Just follow us walking down the street.
We love talking to you.
We do.
And all of that good stuff. And we'll see you next week.
Y'all come back now, here.
It's NFL draft season, and that means it's time to start thinking about fantasy football. FantasyPoints.com features industry-leading experts and prognosticators using proprietary hand-charted data to help you score more fantasy points. FantasyPoints.com is the place to go for whatever kind of fantasy football you play. Whether you play fantasy football, daily fantasy sports, or do a little bit of everything, Fantasy Points has the meticulously researched content to guide you to victory. And why wait for the fall? Fantasy Points also covers the new spring football league, the UFL. Join the guru, John Hansen, Scott Barrett, Joe Dolan, and other massive names in the fantasy football universe with an exclusive offer. Use code Pantheon for 15% off any Fantasy Points package, including the all-in package, with access to every article, tool, and data nugget that Fantasy Points has to offer. That's FantasyPoints.com and code Pantheon for 15% off at Fantasy Points. FantasyPoints.com, code Pantheon. Score more fantasy points.